going on, guys? This is OBOY Tuts, and in this video I'm going to be showing you my current mastering techniques that I use and some of the plugins I've recently acquired to do my masters with. And then I'm going to be showing an alternate version with just stock plugins, so a lot of you that don't have these fancy expensive plugins can do it. So that said, I'm going to play you the sample unmastered, and then we can get started. I'm working with an artist. His name is Danny Wynn. Go check him out. I'll leave all the social media description. He's a dope artist. He plays the saxophone like crazy too. So let's play a little sample.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice and push me to the edge to leave. I can't hold you closer, I can't be a soldier. First I gotta work on me. It's hard not to text you back, it's hard just to stay on track. I really like your company. I hope you find a good man, someone who will understand. I know you can't wait on me. Maybe we're two different people, and maybe we'll lose no matter where we go. I hope you find love, 'cause something's missing between us.
Okay, so that's a small snippet of it. I'll leave all his links in the description. Go check him out, and let's get started. So the first thing I find necessary is make sure you have a good reference track that is similar, sonically speaking, to the song you're working with, just because it's really good to bounce back and forth between the reference and yours to make sure things are sounding somewhat similar, because it's a commercial record and it's already out. So I like to reference certain engineers that I like. In this case, I'm referencing What Do You Mean by Justin Bieber. So I'm gonna bounce back and forth really quick just so you can hear like the differences.
I don't wanna hurt you anymore, you deserve more than the world. Hey, yeah, when you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go, what do you mean? Push me, oh, what do you mean? I can't hold you closer, I can't be a soldier. First I gotta work on me.
Okay, so obviously the Justin Bieber track has a lot more like thickness and width to it, a lot punchier, so that's kind of what we're gonna try to go for. And the plugins I recently bought are Slate Digital plugins, and they're amazing. I highly recommend buying them. They're like fucking magic, I swear. I love them for mastering and mixing too. But the first plugin I use is an Isotope Ozone EQ. Now you don't have to use this EQ, I just kind of like the subtlety it adds, because you can really mess with it a lot, and it's only affecting like the max you can go down is like 8 dBs. So it's really good for subtle EQ changes, which is what you want to go for in mastering. You don't want to do major EQ changes, otherwise that means your mix is wrong. So what I did was I cut out all the low end, not all the low end, sorry, up to about 40 hertz of low end. And I did this because it's a pop record, it's not a trap song, so I don't really need any of that low end, that super low end. So if you're mixing like a really hip hop mix, maybe like I would go max 30 hertz to cut out. But in this case I went up to 40, took some out at 400 hertz, and then I boosted a little bit of top end, only like a dB and a half. So this is before.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice and push me to the edge to leave. I can't hold you closer, I can't be a soldier. First I gotta work on me.
I don't know if you could tell the difference or not, but I was switching it on and off. It added a subtle change, and that's exactly what we're going for. And then the next on my list was a compressor from the Slate Digital bundle. And I just used this preset called Classic Mix 2, and then I adjusted the threshold, so I was knocking off maybe a dB, so not too much compression.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice and push me to the edge to leave. I can't hold you closer, I can't be a soldier. First I gotta work on me.
So it added a little bit more volume and a little bit more punch to it, which is great. And then next compressor was VBC Red, which is another Slate Digital plugin. And I'm telling you, these I have not been able to find a better like mastering set of compressors than Slate Digital. It's amazing. And I'm just using a preset over here called Glue. And if you don't have these, but you have Waves plugins, I would just recommend using an SSL compressor. This one will work just as well. It's an amazing sounding mastering compressor. I use the preset called mastering, and it works pretty well. So if you have Waves, great, use that. It'll get you pretty much similar results. So this is I'll flip it on and off while I'm playing it.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice. Push me to the edge to leave. I can't hold you closer, I can't be a soldier. First I gotta work on me. It's hard not to text you back, it's hard just to stay on track. I really like your company. I hope you find a good man, someone who will understand. I know you.
Okay, so this is I'm doing lighter compression. It's a ratio of 1.5 with a pretty fast attack and somewhat slow release, and then I'm adjusting the threshold, so I'm getting about 1 to 2 dBs gain reduction. And if you have a stock compressor, you just copy those settings. Like I said, you know, when I say fast attack, you just take your attack, move it faster. And when I say slower release, you just move your release there, and then you adjust the ratio. Like I said, it was a 1.5 ratio, so you would take your ratio, change it to 1.5. That's, you know, that's the easiest way to copy my settings when, you know, if you don't have these compressors. And after that, I needed a little bit more width to it, like, you know, in the stereo field, because I thought it was too like down the center. But when you're doing this, you got to be a little careful, because if you go too much, and it's gonna mess up your whole mix when you go to play it like in a club setting, because club settings, they're played in mono, which means dead center. So when you do too much stereo width like that and you play it in a club, your mix is going to disappear completely, and you won't hear a lot of the stuff. A lot of shit's going to disappear. So, and I'll let you hear how it sounds too.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice.
So that's completely like wide. Stereo width is completely out and doesn't even sound good anyways. So definitely don't do that much. I just keep it subtle and like that much, just a hint of stereo width to it, and just gives it, you know, slight appearance of it being wider.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice. Push me to the edge to leave. I can't hold.
Again, just subtle changes. And then the last on my chain is from Slate Digital. This is the holy grail of limiters, I swear. I love this for mastering. By far the best transparent limiter. I think it uses like some harmonic distortion with it, but it's enabled me to get songs really loud without it distorting. And it's cool because it has a compressor within it, and it has some good metering like RMS and peak. And if you don't know what RMS and peak means, peak basically just means like the loudest points in your track. Like that's a peak. Like if you can look on the waveform, like the loud points are your peaks. So, and our peak is going to be -0.1 because that's like the loudest you can go without clipping. And then RMS, this is really what your loudness comes from. So RMS means it's your average volume. And if you want to get perceived like volume, you just try to increase your RMS without clipping, or sorry, without distorting. So I'm going to adjust this gain knob, and it's going to increase in volume and RMS.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice. Push me to the edge to leave. I can't hold you closer, I can't be a soldier. First I gotta work on me.
So as you can see, as I was increasing that, the peak stayed the same at -0.1 because that's as loud as it can get. -0.1, that's you know, that's your peak. So, but the RMS was still increasing because that's your average volume. Now, you can't increase your RMS too much, otherwise it'll start distorting. But that is where your perceived, volume comes from. So if you want to get a track louder, the trick is just to get a really good RMS level without it distorting.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice and push me to the edge to leave. I can't hold you closer, I can't be a soldier. First I gotta work on me. It's hard not to text you back, it's hard just to stay.
So I found that it was good right there, and the RMS was at -9. Now, you don't need this fancy plugin to see your RMS level at all. I think there's other plugins. Let's see. I know there's other plugins, like stock plugins, where you could see your RMS level. It might be in the adaptive limiter. Let's see. Does it show your RMS average limit? No, not that.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and
Anyways, I'm gonna compare it now with the commercial record, and we'll see the difference in volume.
with someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Said you're running out. Soldier, first I gotta work on me. It's hard not to text you back, it's hard just to stay on track. I really.
So if you can get it to at least similar to a commercial volume level, then you're winning already. So I'm gonna go on and explain the stock plugins just a little bit. So again, it's the same mix, but I'm just gonna do a little quick rundown for the stock plugins. And obviously there's not as many, but you're gonna use the linear phase EQ, which you just go down EQ, linear phase, and because that doesn't mess with your phase of the whole song, and I won't get into that right now, but I take out again at 40 hertz, and then tiny bit at 385, because what I did was I played the song, and then I did a little sweep, like I usually do, and find the area that it's bad in, and I already knew that it was at 400 hertz because I can kind of hear it in my room. If you have like a good monitoring system, you could hear it, and make sure it's only like very subtle, like -1, and then I boost a tiny bit on the top end.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice and push me to the edge to leave.
So very subtle changes. And then I just use the stock compressor, and this might look different than yours because I have a little bit older version of Logic, but all the settings, everything is still the same. It doesn't matter if it looks different, whatever, all the settings are in the same compressor. So I choose the circuit type of vintage VCA, and then I gave it a ratio of 4:1, medium attack, and then a quick release, and then my knee was 0.7. I think that's where it is all the time. Anyways, but let's hear the difference. I'm gonna flip it on.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice and push me to the edge to leave. I can't hold you closer, I can't be a soldier. First I gotta work on me.
So again, you adjust your threshold, so you're getting -3 of gain reduction, about -3, and it depends on the song, I guess. So you just go by your ear. So I'm gonna mess around with the threshold, and you can hear the differences.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice and push me to the edge to leave. I can't hold you closer, I can't be a soldier. First I gotta work on me. It's hard not to text you back.
So as you can see, as I brought it down, it starts to get squished and everything's, you're just losing all dynamics. And so yeah, that's a compressor, the stock compressor. And then the last thing is just a limiter. And again, it might look a little different than yours, but it's the same plugin. Just go to dynamics, adaptive limiter. And so got to reset it actually. Okay, output ceiling, -0.1. And then you just adjust your gain until it starts getting distorted, and then you dial it back a little bit.
with someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice and push me to the edge to leave. I can't hold you closer, I can't be a soldier. First I gotta work on me. It's hard not to text you back, it's hard just to stay on track. I really like your company. I hope you find a good man, someone who will understand. I know you with someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice and push me to the edge to leave. I can't hold you closer, I can't.
So that's basically all you do for stock plugins, because there's not really, you could add some other stuff in here, I guess, but like tape saturation. I don't even know if there is a saturation plugin, but anyways, that's it for the stock plugins, and I'm gonna compare the two now between mine and then the stock.
With someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight and maybe it's a nice and push me to the edge to leave. I can't hold you closer, I can't be a soldier. First I gotta work on me. It's hard not to text you back, it's hard just to stay on track. I really like your company. I hope you find a good man, someone who will understand. I know you with someone who will love you and hold you down, hold you down. Maybe it's a fight.
So they're both pretty similar, but I think mine with the slate definitely wins by just a little bit, but it's pretty close. So you definitely can get the results with stock plugins. You just got to know how to work them. And hopefully this video helped you. And if you want me to make a video for the mix of this song, I definitely could, but the mix was actually done in Pro Tools, not in Logic, so it would be a Pro Tools video. But let me know if you want to see it, and leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Please follow all my social media in the description, and I'll catch you next time. And please follow all my social media. All the links are in the description, and I'll catch you in the next video.